If you walked in, rolled in, or ran in this morning, or in your jammies, watching online at home, you are welcome here. Say it with me. You are welcome here. If you are a theist, deist, atheist, agnostic, humanist, or none of those, you are welcome here. If you are black, white, brown, or green, you are welcome here. If you are gay, straight, bi, trans, you are welcome here. If you are old as dirt, like me, or young, or anywhere in between, you are welcome here. Whether you have lots of money or barely squeaking by, you are welcome here. We are so glad you're here today. My name is Mary Tucker, and I'm a member of the board here at Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in beautiful Port Townsend, Washington. As we gather, I acknowledge that the water, land, and shorelines here in Port Townsend are the traditional territory of the Skaalum and Chimacum peoples. We honor and acknowledge our indigenous members and neighbors and vow to help restore and sustain these homelands. If you're visiting today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in the fellowship hall after the service. We have a newcomers table near the patio doors where our greeters are ready to answer any questions you might have. Welcome to you all this morning. We're glad you're here. We have an announcement. The auction team would like to thank all of you who had a hand in making our auction a resounding success. Thank you to everyone who donated, everyone who bid, everyone who baked, everyone who lent a helping hand. And thank you to our inspirational mousecots. They are so happy to hear that we didn't just squeak by, but exceeded our goals. Woohoo! Now let us settle our minds and calm our hearts.
Everybody's talking about what they won't allow. What are they really saying? They make it okay to hate, trying to push us away. But this is our home too. There's nothing wrong. We're just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. Everybody's staring at us, making all kinds of fuss, but I see no reason why. I'm fully grown, I've been to that rodeo, I have lived and I know that nothing they say is true. There's nothing wrong, we're just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. to go along with it. They know there's nothing wrong with it. We've got love on our side. Everybody's talking, everything's coming around. Everyone's talking now, what a beautiful sound, a beautiful sound. Everybody's talking, saying enough is enough. They're saying our time has come, you cannot stop love. There's nothing wrong, we're just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. There's nothing wrong, we're just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you, about me and you, about me and you.
Good morning. Our opening words are by Nathan Ryan. Be it real or metaphor, whatever is in your backpack or your briefcase or your purse you've brought into this sanctuary that is weighing you down, leave it behind. Whatever you are carrying that is keeping you distracted or caught up in shame or guilt or hopelessness, leave it behind. If you need it, it will be there when we're done. But for this hour, please, let it go. Come into this place with open hearts. Come into this place with a soul that has remembered how to be tender again. Come into this place with a renewed hope for the world. Come into this place ready to build a world we've always been worthy of and have always dreamed about. It is good to be together this morning. I invite you to join me in our chalice lighting words. When the great mosaic of humanity is treated with respect and dignity, when no person is threatened by war or when we have extended hospitality to the stranger and tended to the sick, when equity and justice reign everywhere, then we shall be free. We light this flame, our spirits and our minds, until we can make it real. Our opening hymn this morning is number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth, and I'll just note to you that I picked hymns today that just make me feel grounded and happy. So let's sing and embody that as much as we can, shall we? This one's sweet. 21.
For the heart and mind's delight. It is our time for all ages, so I invite those of you who are young in body or spirit to come on up and join me for a book, for a story. Yay! Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for saying good morning back to me. That was lovely. Hi. All right, it's going to be harder to see if you're facing that way, but I trust that you will figure it out. I'm, on the other hand, going to turn this and face the adults, because that's how I read books. This is called Why Not? And it's a wonderful story about how we come into our lives. This is it. This is your rare and wonderful life. It is the greatest gift you will ever receive. Everything you want and everything you dream of is waiting. You have a vast treasure of talents and potential hidden inside you, and your life is ready for you to discover it all. Why not find out how remarkable your life can be? Why not make the most of every moment? You were born for wonder and awe. You are here to marvel at the beauty of this world and to experience the joy of being alive. And I pause just for a moment to remind all of you out there who aren't sitting up here with me that this is about you too. Am I right? Yes. Thank you. Never too late to get started. Be a stranger to the ordinary. Get to know the unknown. Why not try something you've never tried before? Why not go somewhere you've never gone before? Isn't this amazing? Stay curious, have adventures, make room for what you love, discover the world's wonders, and know that you are one of them too. So much of life depends on how you look at things and how you see yourself. You are shaped by the choices you make. How will you answer when today asks, what have you learned from yesterday? Why not see how good your best can be? I like this curled up with a friend there. That is awesome. Why not make the most of your life? Things won't always go according to plan. Can I get an amen? The way may be difficult. You may get worn out and tired. You may feel lost. You may want to turn back. But know that every step moves you a little closer to where you want to go if you have the courage to take it. Embrace it all, even the messy parts, maybe especially the messy parts. And don't be fooled by fear. It has a way of shrinking possibilities and diminishing dreams. Have faith. Keep going. You can be the difference. You are made of sunrises and second chances. You are the hope of a brand new day. Even if the odds are 1,000,000 to 1, why not be the one? Don't wait for things to be great to be grateful. Paying attention is an act of love. Noticing is caring. Beauty is all around and in everything. It just needs you to recognize it. Why not look for the good in everyone and everything? Open your heart. Take it all in. This is your everywhere. This is your home. You are connected to everything, and everything is connected to you. Every little bit of good helps. Every act of kindness builds. Every act of compassion heals. Everything you have ever loved becomes a part of you. It all counts. Why not leave this world a little better than you found it? And that's our story for today. And I hope you all liked it. I hope you all liked it. Let's form an arch along the aisle and sing our children out to their morning's programs.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
We pause for a time of generosity and to receive an offering which today goes to Bayside Housing and Services. I invite Karen Chambers to share a little bit about Bayside with us.
Thank you. I'm Karen Clemens. I'm the Director of Development at Bayside Housing and Services. We started operations in 2016. We had 6 rooms, and we moved a group of women who had been living on the beach in Port Hadlock into those rooms. And from that moment, under the leadership of our Executive Director, Gary Keister, we have been an organization in a hurry. We have treated lack of housing, homelessness, as the urgent and emergency situation that it is. And so today, we are housing people. As we house them, we provide them with case management services so that we can address the issues that may have led to their homelessness, and so that they can eventually heal from the trauma of homelessness and secure their own permanent and stable housing. And in Jefferson County, that's not an easy task, because our vacancy rate for affordable housing is from 0 to 3%. That's a very small percentage, 0 especially. At any rate, these are the two halves of our mission. Earlier this year in June, we had a gratitude event, and we invited donors to join us for treats, wine, cookies, and conversation about Bayside. And I felt compelled to make a list of all the things we'd been doing, because I thought our executive director might need a reminder as he was speaking to people. And the list is, it became dramatically long, and it had to be laid out on a legal-sized piece of paper. That's how long it was. And I just want to read the list of things to you, which you'll also find mentioned in our impact report, which came out on Wednesday in the Leader, and I'll leave some issues with me, or in the back there before I go. So in addition to our main activities, we are this year running the emergency shelter in downtown Port Townsend. We've expanded J.C. Mash Free Clinic so that it now provides not only advocacy services, but real patient services, treating mental and physical health issues. We have renovated, almost completely renovated Woodley Place, which is in Port Hadlock. It used to be the Hadlock Motel. It's going to become our first the first group of units of permanent supportive housing, and we are already starting to move people into that facility. We're combining Pat's and Peter's Place And we're able to do this because of QUUF. You made a very generous contribution that allows us to combine Peters and Pat's Place. They're tiny villages. One is in Port Townsend, one is in Port Hadlock. We're going to be combining them in Port Hadlock to make way for Vince's Village, which is a 23-plus unit, or 23-plus apartment complex of affordable housing that we'll be constructing in 2025. We were able to purchase a home at 9th Street that has been converted to affordable housing. We bought San Juan property, which is just down the road from you here. We've got that on hold. We've wrapped it up so that we can build more affordable housing there in the future. We acquired Starrett House. The lower floors of Starrett House in Uptown Port Townsend are being used as affordable housing, and the upper floors are being used as bed and breakfast and allowing us to pay the mortgage. This is a good thing. We're establishing Bayside Skills Centers so that young people who need employment and skills can learn about the culinary, hospitality, and restaurant industries. And we're also working with the Port Hadlock Community United Methodist Church to lease its property for Peters and Pat's Place and for more affordable housing. So as I said, our executive director, Gary Keister, is a man in a hurry. He doesn't want anyone to be homeless in Jefferson County. And so I thank you very much for the opportunity to be up here and talking about this. And I thank you for the opportunity to release my nervousness, which came back to me the more I was talking. But thank you very much for your patience and for your support. I am really grateful to be here. This place just cracks you wide open. So yay, I made it through without crying. Thank you very much.
The ushers will come among you to receive the offering, and additional ways for giving will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. This fellowship is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it.
I honor the first peoples of the northeastern United States by reciting an Iroquois poem of thanksgiving between the verses of my song. May everything that we are given be so grateful he received. May we have the grace to be humbled by a place in all existence and to live as we believe, and the courage to live as we believe. We give thanks to our Mother the Earth, which sustains us. We give thanks to the rivers and streams, which supply us with water. We give thanks for the herbs, which furnish medicines to cure our diseases. We give thanks to the corn and her sisters, the beans and the squashes, which give us life. Never take for granted the gifts that daily we receive. And may we know the give thanks to the sun that has looked down upon us with a beneficent eye. We give thanks to the moon and the stars which have given us light when the sun was gone. We give thanks to the Great Spirit in whom is embodied all goodness, and who directs all things for the good of his children. Everything that we are given be so gratefully received, and may we have the grace to be humbled by our place in all existence, and to live as we believe, and the courage to live as we believe.
We set aside time each week to share joys and sorrows, and we recognize that our personal joys and sorrows are only a fragment of the joys and sorrows of the larger community of life. And so we're placing a stone this week, thinking in particular of those who approach the start of the holiday season with discomfort or grief. If that is you, know that you are held in love in this moment and through this season. Thank you. We pause this week, our joys and sorrows, to honor transgender people who have lost their lives this past year.
Today we're recognizing Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance was started on November 20th, 1999 by trans advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith to honor Rita Hester, a trans woman who was murdered in 1998. It has become an annual day to remember those killed by violence. This year we know of 350 transgender individuals who died of violence worldwide. 41 in the United States. We also know that these numbers are an undercount. We are facing a new epidemic of transphobia intersected with racism, filled with violence, hate, and trans-exclusionary legislation, even in our own community. It is important to honor our dead, remember their names, and commit ourselves as individuals and as a faith community to fight for justice, equality, and inclusion. As we read just a few names, may we hold in our hearts. Additional names and notes about their lives are on the kiosk in the foyer. May they rest in power and peace, and may we at QUF provide support and sanctuary in these precarious times. So, February 8th, 2024, next Benedict. A 16-year-old, non-binary high school student loved nature and watching the television show The Walking Dead. Next enjoyed drawing, reading, and playing Ark and Minecraft. On February 7th, 2024, Next was brutally and viciously beaten inside a bathroom at Owasso High School in Owasso, Oklahoma. On March 13th, the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office released a partial report from Nex's autopsy, indicated that Next may have died by suicide. The cause of death does not change these realities. Next died one day after being beaten unconscious in a school bathroom, and after more than a year of anti-trans bullying and harassment that went unchecked by their school. In fact, this bullying and harassment started at the top through the anti-LGBTQ+ policies and rhetoric of Oklahoma Superintendent Ryan Walters.
Taydwar Thomas, a 17-year-old transgender girl, was shot to death on May 7th in Mobile, Alabama. This is 2024. And the suspect is a man who her family says she had been dating. Police arrested Karl Washington Jr., 20. He is charged with murder. He has pleaded not guilty, but has been denied bond. Brandon Taydwar Thomas was beloved by her friends and family. Speaking with HRC, her grandmother described Tay as someone who always had a huge smile on her face, showing her dimples, and that she loved doing her hair and would help anyone. She was further described as shy, but so fearless, with a natural leadership ability. The next person is Polly Likens. Polly Likens was a 14-year-old trans girl, was murdered and dismembered in Pennsylvania. She was last seen alive in person June 22nd of 2024, and her remains were found on June 25th, scattered in a lake in Clark, Pennsylvania, in the northwestern part of Pennsylvania. Deshaun Watkins, 29, is charged with murder in first-degree aggravated assault, attempts to cause seriously bodily injury or causes injury with extreme indifference, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with and fabricating physical evidence. Pamela Ladner, president of the LGBTQA+ Alliance in Shenango Valley, told CNN that Polly was a selfless, loving child who loved nature, getting her nails done, and shopping. She also said that Polly aspired to be a park ranger like her Aunt Liz.
Vanity Williams, a black transgender woman who also used the name Chanel on social media, was shot and killed in Houston, Texas on August 2nd, 2024. A nursing student and Air Force veteran, she was 34 years old. Williams was found dead shortly after 11 p.m. in the lobby of the Caroline Apartments in downtown Houston, where she lived. 1 week later, on August 9th, police arrested Tristan Sanders, 26, in Louisiana, charging him with Williams' murder. Friends describe Williams to KTRK as a loyal and straightforward person. She, quote, "She created and made a safe space for everybody, so to think that someone would want to hurt her and have a justified reason is something I cannot fathom," unquote, said Williams' friend Hope Gazelle, an author and public speaker.
River Neve Goddard, non-binary, 17-year-old River Neve Goddard, was found dead April 5th in Stowe, Massachusetts, 2 years after they were first reported missing. Their 20-year-old boyfriend admitted to attacking them with a sword, authorities said. Michael Simmons, Goddard's grandfather, said Goddard had a difficult upbringing, spending part of their childhood in the care of the Rhode Island Department of Children, Youth, and Families. River Neve Goddard had an amazing, outgoing personality. They were very creative and artistic. She loved to write her own music. Their cuddly nature was only matched by their quick wit and goodness.
We place a final stone, holding in our hearts our joys and sorrows, and particularly holding in our hearts the loved ones of these names that we've heard and stories that we've heard. We also hold those joys and sorrows that are held silently in our hearts, that are of no less importance. Thank you. Let's take a couple breaths together, friends. That's a lot to listen to. Nice deep breaths. Let's settle in for a time of reflection, meditation, or just stillness, as is most your custom, starting with these words by my colleague Andrea Hawkins-Camper. Blessed are we who gather with open hearts together in this space today. Blessed are we, the chalice lighters of resistance, justice, love, and faith. Blessed are we, the heretics, the outcasts, the walkers of our own way. Blessed are we, the border crossers, the refugees, the immigrants, the poor, the wanderers who are not lost. Blessed are we, the transgressors, the trespassers, the passers-by, the cause-takers, the defiant, the compliant. Blessed are we, the hand extenders, the sign makers, the protesters, the protectors. Blessed are we, the trans women, the trans men, the non-binary, the cisgender, the multigender, the no gender. Blessed are we, the friend, the stranger, the lonely, the hidden, the visible, the authentic. Blessed are we who rise in solidarity. Blessed are we who cannot. Blessed are we who do not. Blessed are we, for this is our beloved community, and this is who we are. Let us pause in stillness together. So may it be. Amen.
Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things.
The full title for our second reading, written by my colleague, the Reverend Julian Soto, is Dear Trans, Non-Binary, Genderqueer, and Gender-Expansive Friends and Kin, and those of us whose gender is survival. Julian writes, "You are not hard to love and respect. Your existence is a blessing. Your pronouns are not a burden or a trial. They are part of your name, just shorter. Someone getting them wrong is not a poor reflection on you. It is not your fault. Your body, really and truly, belongs to you, no one else. The stories of your body, the names of your body parts, your body's privacy, the sum of your body's glory. It is not okay for anyone to press their story of you back to the beginning of our liberation. We will find the people ready to be on the freedom for the people way. We will go on. No one can rename you other. It can't stick, as you are the gift of being and saying who you are. Mostly, though, your stories belong to you. Your joy and complexity are beautiful, however you may choose to tell it or not tell it. Some folks may take their liberty for unholy license. You are beloved. Please keep to our shared tasks of healing and getting free." There ends our reading.
So the name of this song is We Will, and at the end of each verse, there's a section where it would only be appropriate if we all sang, we will do whatever that we're talking about. And so I will go through, it's very simple tune-wise, so I'll go through it here, and then I'll call out what we're going to say we will before we get to that part of the song. So it's, we will all come. We will all come. We will all come. Okay? It's a long, long road we set our feet upon. It's a long, long road we've set our feet upon. And with loving hearts we walk on. With loving hearts we walk on. We will walk on. We will walk on. We will walk on. We will walk on. Take a single flame and pass it on. Take a single flame and pass it on. It's enough to light the way. It's enough to light the way. We will 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 light the way. shines through all of us there on the road. There's a rainbow in front of us wherever we go, wherever we go. All the souls who came before are standing here. All the souls who came before are standing here. You can hear them whisper low. You can hear them whisper low. We will walk with you. 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 When the sun shines through all of us there on the road, there's a rainbow in front of us wherever we go, wherever we go. Bridges are built with open hands. Bridges are built with open hands. We began to heal the world. We began to heal the world. We will hear the world. We will heal 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 the world. Heal the world.
So, it may not be a surprise to learn that I have always had LGBTQ plus folks in my life. Growing up, I knew that my father had a love for women's clothes, though I didn't understand it and found that very uncomfortable. I had seen him one night in full makeup and wig, in women's clothes, high heels, the whole shebang. Not yet 6, I was perplexed by this woman who spoke with my father's voice. By my teens, a good friend who lived exactly around the block from me, our house was 611, so was his, he came out as gay at 13. And he loved to play with gender as well, exploring outrageous makeup and trying out drag. Younger than me by a couple of years, he still managed to get us into a gay disco. My first time in a club, he was 13, I was 16. I don't know how he did it, but he was just that kind of guy. Then 2 women friends fell in love when I was in high school and were an undercover couple for our senior year. In the years after my parents divorced, a gay family friend, Charlie, lived with us on and off. He was a lovable and kind man who was deeply committed to social justice and had a quirky nature that meant you never quite knew what was going to happen when he was around. One of the things that cracked me up consistently is he really believed that our neighbors needed to know what we were reading. I'm not quite clear why he thought that was the case, but he was very committed to this. And our house had big plate glass windows that weren't all that far from the sidewalk, but he would go and get the books and arrange them along the windowsills to make sure that people knew what we were reading. Again, he was a very, very quirky fellow, and we loved him very, very dearly. It may be come as some surprise, given that history, that when I met my first declaratively trans woman, I didn't behave well. I met Leslie at a conference of community-based ministers in the late 1980s. Leslie, qualified, trained, and ordained, was not able to find a congregation to serve. And so she was cobbling together a ministerial career, combining social justice work, pulpit supply, and a non-ministerial job that paid her bills. An aside, at that time, this was the usual practice for my colleagues who were identified in that whole collection of letters, and in particular, for folks who were trans. There weren't congregations, even for, it was even still tricky in the late 1980s for gays and lesbians to find pulpits. As much as we like to think of ourselves as open and affirming, it has taken, I'll tell you, long decades for acceptance and support to become the norm for trans ministers, and even now, there is still work to be done. Back to Leslie. Out of earshot of her, I made some jokes that weren't funny, but I thought they were at the time. It took more years than I'd like to admit for me to recognize how harmful and disrespectful it was, and for me to then change. Now, there are a variety of things that I can identify that helped me move from that discomfort that caused me to behave so badly, and that sense of dismissal, to something that resembled more support and care. I think my heart got tenderized over the years, largely by knowing folks, meeting people, learning more. Mary Oliver's poem opens a window to that becoming tender. As much as we joke about Mary Oliver's poetry and its prominence in UU circles, I mean, at one point the joke used to be, is it really a UU service if it does not have a Mary Oliver poem in it? I mean, there was a time when that actually felt kind of true, and as I noted, I often will refer to her as Saint Mary of Oliver, because we ministers quote her all the time, and we do that because she crafts sentences that open hearts and point to something more human and humane than we sometimes can get a hold of. Wild Geese invites us into authenticity. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to love that soft animal of your body and let it love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I'll tell you mine. 4 sentences that absolves us of all the ways that we have failed, have lost our way, have fallen short of what we knew to be most important and true. Those sentences ground us in this animal existence that we forget too easily. They remind us that we are all more alike than we are different. And we forget that in a breath, in an instant. Each one of us knows despair, and all of us exist in beauty, and everyone loves. It is an invitation, these lines, to dig down into our essential interconnectedness, our relatedness, our common life. And it is an affirmation for each of us to be who we are most deeply, to love what we love, to see ourselves in the struggles, our struggles in another's eyes, in their hearts, in their lives. It is in that recognition of each other's essential being, that soft animal that is our body, that can create openness to another, that can open space for us to simply be present to another without, as Carter Hayward would suggest, pretense or guile. It's her definition of love, to be present to another without pretense or guile. And that can open a space for us to be with one another in ways that are always loving and supportive and authentic. I am grateful to my colleague, Julian Soto, who has helped me more than they know in my journey of understanding and opening. In our reading this morning, they offer words to their companions on the journey of those trans and genderqueer, those who don't fit into the tidy categories that we too often think of as rigid and necessary, those whose loves exceed easy description. Julian's words are reminding them and reminding us that they are beloved, that their lives are sacred, their stories are precious, reminding them and reminding us that they only owe anyone the same love and care that we owe each other, reminding them and us that each of us, everyone, no one excluded, our universalism demands that of us, and yes, even those folks that we instinctively think of as they, you know who they are, right? Just as soon as I say they, you got that picture. They all have worth and dignity. Now, having mentioned our universalism, I have to make a brief aside here. Are y'all familiar with Ambrose Bierce's Devil's Dictionary? Some of you all? So it's just awesome. And he has a description of universalists. He describes us as one who forgoes the advantage of a hell for persons of another faith. And in case you're wondering, he also hits on Unitarians, which he describes as one who denies the divinity of a Trinitarian. All of that is to say, in order for us to see the worth and dignity in every person, however they present, whatever they define themselves as, for us to do that, we need a holy, generous heart. We need a tender heart. We need to keep learning and growing as we go, finding ways of moving through the world with love and respect for each other. And in case I haven't been clear about this so far, everybody means everybody. Yes, even them. The truth is, and y'all know this is never easy. This is never easy. As I was writing this, though, I was taking breaks by cruising around on the hot new social media site, Blue Sky. Anybody checking this out? We have a few folks out there. It's kind of like Twitter was back when it was fun. And anyhow, I stumbled on this beautiful moment where that demonstrates a bit of how easy and how joyful it is to pay attention and to witness and to see people. This comes from a Coldplay concert. That's a band, for those of you who may be out of touch with that. The Coldplay concert in Auckland, New Zealand. So Christina's going to play it a couple of times so that you can actually catch what happens, because it took me a few times through. So please, Christina.
Okay, my beautiful sister. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, you beautiful person. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for coming to our show, telling me what I should already know, and representing LGBTQIA. Woo! By the skin of my teeth. Holy shit. Okay. Thank you. Okay, my beautiful sister. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, you beautiful person. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for coming to our show, telling me what I should already know, and representing LGBTQIA. Woo! By the skin of my teeth. Holy shit. Okay, thank you.
Well, I expect y'all have heard that word before. You possibly have heard it from me. So did you catch that? So I don't know what it says on her phone. I have never been able to figure that out. But she's clearly not his beautiful sister. And he just rolls right with it. You beautiful person. What a gift. I teared up watching that the first time. The ease with which that singer embodies with this beautiful person, there is a lightness and ease and care that is in that sentence. And the joy of that beautiful person is so evident. See, it really comes down to this. We each want to be seen for who we are, for the beauty that we each embody. Yes, even you. Yes, even on your bad days. And we do owe it to each other, my friends. For in the end, this is the work of love in the world. Love that can help heal us, love for each other, and for the world. Amen. So may it be. Let's sing Blue Boat Home together, shall we? Yeah. Like I say, all good grounding, beautiful music.
So below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I fly the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making a way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on. Greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I
these words by Alfred Cole. Go out into the highways and byways. Give the people something of your vision. You may possess but a small light, but uncover it, let it shine. Use it in order to bring more light and understanding to the hearts and minds of people everywhere. Give them not hell, but hope and courage. Preach the kindness and everlasting love of all. So may it be. Amen. Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish a flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, or the power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam.